share in this experience this afternoon. Would like you to join me in just a round of applause for her putting this together. Branding and innovating for business growth. As we launched the Center for Entrepreneurial Development. Certainly, you have to be sure to get your messaging out and keep getting your message out over time. Now, before we really get started, I want to include some full disclosure.
You are not.
I agree.
Yeah, no,
Get over it.
I am weird.
Newsflash?
Well, for some people, maybe. Anyone speaks up in full agreement is probably not my friend. Yeah, I'm willing to admit it. And you know what? I've gotten to know Ryan. In fact, really, all of you are weird. Don't be offended. Okay, I'm redefining what we mean by weird. Okay, one of my favorite marketing gurus is Seth Godin, and he has just recently come out with a book by that same name. We are weird. But as I mentioned, I'm really trying to redefine what we mean by weird. What I mean is that we need to be different. We need to be unique. And we need to continue being different and unique over time with our business. And so when we're talking about branding, we're talking about innovating. We're talking about being weird in order to be effective and in order to be successful. So when we're talking about branding and innovating, some might say that they don't really go together, but in fact, I think Ryan and I would argue that they actually go hand in hand. And you might say, well, how is that? Could that possibly be the case? Well, I think it is about being weird. They both focus on how you're being weird or being different now, and how you're going to continue to be weird and different in the future. They also both are aligned as tools for business growth. So you can utilize these on a consistent basis, much like what Peg had on her big old platform. Where it goes over here. They moved it on me. Part of the cycle, the legacy cycle that Peg describes, includes both growth and innovating. I kind of feel branding and innovating obviously in part with that. Additionally, we've talked a lot about mindset, how we think about our businesses, and acting on how we think about our businesses. Both of those also play a part for both branding and innovating. I would say first that from a mindset standpoint, you have to have a foundational mindset in order to grow your business. And from a branding standpoint, and being a storyteller, as Peg mentioned, I describe myself as, it's about defining your story to begin with, and then refining that story over time. But of course, mindset's not enough. We also have to act, and Mike Davis certainly talked about action quite a bit this morning. Deliberate practice. Somebody I know and respect highly introduced this term to me recently. Deliberate practice. I think it's great terminology that we should incorporate in our work with our businesses. But not only deliberate practice, but also developmental action. Okay? Again, we're changing over time. And from a branding standpoint, when I think about action, I'm talking about building your story and then also sharing the story. It's not enough just to generate the story, but you also have to share it with others. Some of them come up there. Bring this one. Is it ready to go backwards on this? should have been stuff that came up here. Anyway, I'll just talk around that. So I want to take a few minutes to talk about branding for business growth specifically, and then Ryan will talk specifically about innovating for business growth. But I mentioned about Seth Godin and his new book, but I also want to share with you a quote. He says that great marketing is storytelling. Great marketing is storytelling. And I think when we're talking about branding, it's all about the story. I also had another quote up there. Loses a little effect since it's not up there, but I said another marketer that I have a lot of respect for, which is me, says essentially the inverse is true. That effective storytelling is great marketing. Effective storytelling is great marketing. So what is branding? Some people think it's this weird thing we do in marketing. But there's a method to our madness. It's really, I think at its core, it's about making a strategic choice of what your business really promises to its customer target. A strategic choice. We choose what we're going to stand for as a business and what we are not going to stand for. And the promise we're making to our customer target along the way. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is repeat after me. My story, is not about me. It's about them. Who wants to answer why that is the case? Yes, Mike.
Our focus should be on our clients.
Yes, essentially that's true. It should be about how they're going to, what message is going to resonate with them. So we have to craft our story not just for our own benefit, really, and what we want to share, but it's really about what they need to hear about us. The other aspect I'd like to share in terms of what I think branding is really about is about the development of an effective core message that you want to communicate with your marketing. And there's really four main things you want to focus on in terms of being effective in terms of your message. You do want to be clear. Okay? We need to have our customer target get us right away. We need to be concise, because if we are too wordy on our website or in our marketing materials, we will lose them. We have to catch them quickly. We have to be consistent. We can't tell one group one message and another group another. A real strong brand is consistent regardless of who they're speaking to. And it needs to be compelling. We need to get their attention. We need to grab that attention, and we need to get it. Quickly. So what I want to do over the next several minutes is share with you a little bit of a process, you could say, in helping you clearly communicate your business's brand story. So first, a little context. You need to know your ideal target. You need to know who is your best potential customer for your business, whatever that might be. And certainly it varies depending on what industry you're in, what kind of product or service you're selling, etc. Once you have in your mind who you're really trying to reach, you need to ask yourself, what is their pain? Or sometimes it's a little easier to think about what's their problem. And when we're talking about pain and problems, we're talking about how your business can uniquely solve their problem or relieve their pain. And the key word there is about being unique, right? We're going to use uniquely instead of weirdly. We're weirdly healing their pain. How you uniquely heal that pain.